story for so long. He loves it. It's one of his favorite novels of all time. And so he was a champion. He was a keeper of the flame, and we all talked together all the time about the intricacies of that relationship. That actually, the complexity of it is that they like each other so much. That Roper and Pine are in many ways very similar. They share a sense of humor. They share a frame of reference, and they're drawn to each other and seduced by each other in some way, which makes that tension of antagonism much more nuanced. And when to sort of turn the dials in one direction or the other was something we just kind of calibrated every day. Do you want to add to that, Susanne?
Yeah. Hugh Laurie wanted to buy the book when it came out, and actually he wanted to play Jonathan Pine. And
I think he would have been great. There's no way I could play Richard Roper. It's waited 2 years.
I think actually there was kind of pondering about that, and then other people got the film rights, and it was never made. And it was never made, most likely because it was never meant to be a feature film, but it should be a television series like we did it. I think part of that he had reflected so much about the characters that there was some kind of weird insight from him, which was incredibly inspiring and interesting. There's also, he's also like a quite he was full of surprises. Like about a week before we were going to start, he came and said no, he wasn't going to do it. And he had this long list of alternative actors who were way better. And I was on my own with him. Everybody else were on a recce, and I was sitting on my own with Hugh in this huge, big, like a top floor, very big, empty building, which was the production office, where there normally are like 150 people. So it was him and me all on our own in this huge, big space with a list of alternative actors. And I was like, Hugh, I don't think that's such a great idea. And he went on with other names, and I said, look, you are right for it. And he then went home, and he came back, and we had dinner next day, and it was fine. But I think that's sort of, there's a kind of constant search in him, a constant sort of trying to figure out what is right, which is not really in the writing of The Worst Man in the World, but add that to very convincing writing of The Worst Man in the World, and you get someone who actually managed to be a real human being, in spite of actually being the worst man in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I say something about Jonathan? Then I want
yes. No, we want to get questions from the audience.
I think what Tom does with Jonathan Pine as an actor is utterly fascinating, because it ties into the spy thing. Because what you do is that you have a lot of enigma as an actor. Like you have a lot of sort of there's a lot of mystery. Whatever you act, whatever you play, you'll always be very, very enigmatic. But what that does, because it's so interesting, because you keep watching. That's how I feel. I'm sure all of you feel the same way. Like you keep watching Tom, and it's always fascinating. And I can kind of watch. I've been seeing like 300 hours of material. I don't get fed up with it. But I never really know everything. There's always an element I don't know. And I think that's an amazing thing for an actor to have, and very few has it.
And so perfect for this.
Yeah,
absolutely
perfect
for this.
Yeah.